to Season 2, Episode 9 of the Heart of Bastrop Talk Show. I'm TJ Johnson-Finn, the Director of the Bastrop County Business Owners Association.
And I'm Mayor Connie Schrader of the City of Bastrop.
Connie, can you believe it? We've only got 2 episodes left of the season, and this one is going to be an exciting episode. We have 2 guests today. We have Troy Brown with OJAS CBD and Live Well Health Market. How exciting.
He's got some great products to show us.
I can't wait.
And our second guest is Tom Dickey, who's the owner of Neighbors Kitchen and Yard. And we all know Neighbors is a wonderful restaurant for both locals and visitors.
Absolutely best pizza. So hang around, guys. Here we go. So our first guest today is Troy Brown. And Troy Brown is with OJAS CBD and Live Again Healthy Market. We're so excited that you decided to join us.
Thank you.
So tell everyone what it is that you do.
Well, we are a CBD store in a healthy market, and a few years ago I was having some issues with swallowing, and I wasn't sure what it was. And so I went to ear, nose, and throat specialist, and they discovered that I had some tumors on my thyroid. I had 4 tumors on the left side and one big one about the size of a nickel on my right side. And so I didn't know if it was cancer or not, so I didn't want to biopsy it because I studied on that, and I just decided I was going to attack it in a healthy way. So I started attacking it. A friend of mine that owns a CBD company, OJAS, he's the founder, Billy, he, old friend, so he heard that I had some tumors, so he knocked on my door one day. I hadn't seen him in over a year, and he said, "You're going to need this," and he gave me that bottle right there.
Wow.
And he said, "I want you to take this, it's going to help you." So I started taking it, and within, there we go, and within 3 days, that sensation that I originally went to the doctor for, where I couldn't swallow properly, started to go away. So I started taking more and more and more, and within 2.5 months, I felt like a teenager. I mean, I felt perfect. So the protocol was they just wanted to remove my thyroid because I had tumors, and so they had a schedule, and I said I want a second ultrasound. And so, in the second ultrasound, all 4 of the tumors on the left side were gone. And the one on the right, though, was still there. So we biopsied it, and it was malignant and it had gone in my lymph system. So they removed the thyroid. But I'm pretty much convinced if I would have learned about how to, to use these products a year or 2 before, I probably would still have a thyroid. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell everyone that I'm a diabetic. Most of you know that. And I got what's called cellulitis in my leg, and I had went to my doctor, and she said, if you don't get your diabetes under control, you're going to lose your leg. And it was really bad, and I had been taking antibiotics and doing all these other things. It just wasn't working. So when I went to the doctor, she said, go get some CBD oil. And I came to you, and it was, gosh, I don't even think it was a month and a half, and it was gone. I did exactly what you told me to do. I put the cream on, and then I also got the drops for under my tongue. And guys, it was amazing. And people would talk about CBD. I'm like, yeah, right, okay. And it was incredible. And I thank you for that, because that probably saved my leg. And so I'm really grateful for that. So you guys are located down in the Crossing, right, Connie? Isn't that what it's called, the Crossing? Yeah.
Yeah, we're right across from a beautiful little place called Neighbors Kitchen, and
coincidentally, he's here with us today as well.
And great place, and a lot. Thank God for that too, because I was in another location where the river company was. But I was so lonely over there all by myself, and just all that activity happening over there by the kitchen. So the opportunity opened up to have another building, and I jumped right on it. We opened a month before COVID, so it was tough.
Tough. But you guys are doing well. I understand.
We did very good. We had a best last 6 months of the year was all best month of business. It was really good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, everybody's going to want to know. Talk to us about this white top.
Yes.
Tell us what this is.
So this is our full spectrum CBD oil, and we like to differentiate this when it has THC and no THC. So full spectrum just means all of the hemp plant, the full spectrum of the hemp plant. And so it has a whole bunch of different components. They all work nicely together, kind of in concert. And it has the 0.3 or less THC, which is the legal limit. There's not enough THC to give you any euphoria. None of our products have a euphoric ability, but very beneficial.
What is the most likely reason that someone would use that? And
Typical
how would they use
reasons
it?
someone would come in, probably pain, inflammation, anxiety is huge. A lot of people come in with anxiety. We have folks come in with Parkinson's, lupus, fibromyalgia, panic disorders, migraines. Yeah, people have all kinds of issues, and they're wanting to go natural, plant-based versus pharmaceutical medicine. And so they will come in, and we sample everybody that comes in the store. So when they come in, we just tell them what our store is about, and then we give them a little spoon, a little plastic spoon, and we give them a few drops of this, and it's so great to see.
So you take it?
You take it under your tongue, you put it under your tongue, it's called sublingual, and you hold it there for maybe a minute, minute and a half. And but we'll give them a sample, and then they'll walk around the store, and sometimes they'll walk out, and then about 10 minutes later they'll come walking back in and go, wow, just got calm, I want that. So it's a really, really good process we have, yeah.
That's awesome. So tell us some more about these great products.
So these are some of our oils. The black tops have just CBD. It's called an isolate. If you take the word isolate, that's what we do. We basically isolate that one component of the hemp plant, CBD, and we put it in these forms. The Courier oil is coconut oil, MCT oil, so it's really healthy. This one is for anxiety, stress, can't sleep, very, very calming.
Let me ask you, so with my oil that I got, I was able to take it on the tongue, but I could also rub it on the skin.
Yeah, you can do it topical. Some people do that too.
So
Yes,
if you don't like
versatile.
to take it, internally, you can do the same thing. Put it right there on whatever area is ailing you, right?
Well, and that's what typically these are. These are, the muscle rub that has 500 milligrams of CBD, that has 1,000. Those are typically what you use topically. But this one is for ADD, ADHD, brain fog, mental focus. A lot of moms have their adolescents or teenagers, they're getting up in the teens and they got some ADD or ADHD, they get it for them. And then Happy Calm is a hybrid blend of both, because some people have slight symptoms both ways. They got a little anxiety, they got a little ADD. Typically ladies like Happy Calm because they just want to be happy and calm.
Or at least the people around us would like us to be happy.
Wait, can I give this to other people? I'm just asking.
And so they're sublingual. They're a 2 to 3 month bottle. They're very affordable, and you can take it once or twice a day. There's no side effects that we know of, other than you could get a little bit tired if you take it in gigantic doses. But nobody's really taking that much. So I take a lot of CBD, and I never get tired. So.
Now you were telling me that you have products from the farmers market.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the other products.
Okay, so that store started. I wanted to do two things. I wanted to promote health and wellness, and so I was thinking, when I got sick, I was thinking, when's the last time I really felt perfect? Like, where I didn't have any issues, I wasn't worried about anything, I wasn't taking anything, I was just normal, perfect. And I thought, I want to live again, and that stuck in my mind, and I thought, I want to help people to live again. Right. And so I decided to make a health store, a health market, and in Bastrop, the most healthy organic products you're going to find are probably at the farmer's market.
Oh, absolutely.
So I started going down to the market, and I started asking all the vendors, could I put your product in my store, because I want to promote you and I want to have a healthy market. So we basically have 12 or 13 of the local farmer's market vendors, and we give them a second location, a full-time spot.
Excellent.
So instead of just Saturday, we have a farmer's market every day at our store. And so I started putting them in the store, and I basically buy it from them, and price integrity is exactly the same. So if they buy it at the farmer's market or at the store, they're going to pay the exact same price.
I love that.
And that allows you to have products, everything from dog treats to noodles, it looks like.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand CBD, and they maybe wouldn't come into just a CBD store because they don't know what it is, but they would come into a healthy market, and so it gives me an opportunity to help them both ways, which is really nice. And this is a great product, one of our Live Again products. This lady's company is called Dogs Love It, and it is the most spoil your dog rotten treat you'll ever have. Just super clean ingredients, very organic. I don't think we have one chemical in our store. We have these are some gummies here from OJAS. This is pasta. This lady, Tammy's Kitchen, she does all kinds of pickled vegetables, and she's got a huge variety. And the ingredients: flour, eggs, squash, and zucchini. Boom, 4 ingredients. I mean, it's just so good.
Very good.
So this is a wonderful soy candle from Scented Pleasures. Every time somebody comes in the store, oh my gosh, this place smells so good, because they got about 30 of these candles everywhere. Yeah, and they burn forever, and they're really healthy. So she's got soy candles and goat milk soaps. We have CBD honey. We have mushroom medicine. This lady is incredible. She's got the best looking skin. She's really taking good care of her skin with these products. And she was breastfeeding her baby, and she was having a problem finding a product that didn't have chemicals in it for sores and for everything. So she formulated her own product called Mushroom Medicine. It's got 2 different mushrooms in it. It's organic to the core, and it smells like cocoa butter. It's really nice. I want you to smell
Yes,
it.
we have to smell this.
Let me just take that little thing up there. You gotta smell that.
Oh, it's
It's
just
chocolate,
like
a chocolate.
like a
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And my dog licks me to death when I put this on. But this is
And how do you use that?
just topical. You know, it's just for skin hydration and but the list of ingredients is amazing. And that's what I like about the store. Anybody who wants to check the ingredients, I encourage them, look at the ingredients on it. You won't find a chemical. I don't even know if we have a chemical in our store, which
That's
is really
amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
That's really good. So, do you also have an online presence? You have a website that people can
Yeah,
go
we
to?
have OJAS CBD Bastrop on Facebook, and then we have our email is liveagainbastrop@gmail.com, and we have ojascbd.com that you can go. And there's 2 stores in Houston, one in Woodlands, one in Conroe, and I'm the 3rd store. So there's 3 locations.
Wow.
And we just won the 2 months ago. We won the Texas Hemp Awards. It's a statewide Texas competition where all things cannabis submit, samples, and they do a big. They judge it, and we won Best CBD Oil in Texas.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Well, everyone's going to want to be checking that out. What are your hours?
11 to 6 every day of the week. So we're open 7 days a week.
So great for visitors that are coming to town and want to try something new, maybe take home a treat, maybe take home a treat to their dogs.
Right.
They have an opportunity any day of the week. I'm sure, TJ, you'll have some folks from the hotel wanting to check
Oh,
that out.
I'm sure. And you were talking about hemp, and it got me to thinking. So here at the hotel in 2019, we hosted a hemp growers. I guess it was like a conference, a hemp growers conference. And there's a lot of hemp farmers in this area.
Yeah, they're coming.
And and now that CBD demand is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are realizing how amazing these products are, that business is just boomed.
We had a lady that came in with her dog, Winston. Winston was a 1-year-old lab that was having grand mal seizures. Those are the really bad ones. Every day. A 1-year-old lab having seizures every day. And they tried every drug that you can find. And she popped her head in my store one day and said, "Do you think CBD will help?" And I said, after we talked, I told her, "What do you got to lose? You've tried everything else, give it a try." And so they were on their way to College Station to try some experimental drug at the vet clinic there. And so she came back about 3 or 4 days later. I'll never forget, it was a Saturday, the store was full, and door opens up, and this lady says, "It's over." And I said, "It's over. Who are you?" And because I couldn't remember, what's over. And she goes, "It's Winston, the seizures." And I said, "What was it?" She said, "It was the CBD. It was over right away. We never even went to the."
Wow. So which?
It's
is
a
it
pet
one of these?
formulation.
A
Yeah,
pet
formulation. Yeah, we have so dogs have more receptors for CBD than we do, and we have more CBD receptors than any other kind of receptor. So the biggest receptor system in your whole body is for CBD. So it's
Really?
Yeah, so we're engineered for it. Yeah, it's
Well, it would make sense, the dog, because look at how many kids, people move their kids to Colorado because, marijuana is legal, and the THC in the marijuana is legal there, and it stops seizures for kids.
Well,
so why wouldn't it do that? CBD do the same thing for pets.
We posted a whole spot about Winston on our Facebook page. It says, "Meet Winston," and we tell the whole story. And then another lady came in. She said, "I just got a rescue dog, and he has allergies so bad. He's clawing and biting, and we can't stop it, and he won't sleep, and it's just miserable. We tried everything. Do you think CBD would work?" And once again, I said, let's try and find out. I think it might. And she gave me a snapshot. They had a cone on its head because it was, it was poor thing, and it had just eaten up. And 2 hours later, she sent me a snapshot, and the dog was taking a nap. She said, "We're all resting right now."
Oh, I love that. I wonder if that would work on my husband, because he's in allergy season. It's like sneezing every 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh! Well, people get relief in a lot of ways, so it's really thank God. Yeah, for COVID and all the stress and the anxiety,
Absolutely.
a lot of people just came in and said, "I'm just stressed out," and
Right.
so we were able to. We try to sample everybody that comes in the store so they can feel it.
Yeah,
So
so
seeing is believing, but feeling is really
Yeah,
believing.
feeling is
And
believing.
so we sample everybody and try to put a topical on if they have any, joint pain. And it's amazing that guy right there. That's the one you put.
Yeah, that's my
2
miracle.
minutes. That's the 2 minute
Can
deal
you tell
there.
everybody what that is? Because
Yeah.
there's other people out there who are diabetics and who have issues with cellulitis, which is very common. Cellulitis, if you're not familiar with that is, it's kind of like a staph infection, but it's for people who have diabetes, so it can be very, a lot of people die from it. And it really was a miracle. So can you just tell
Yeah, sure.
people
This
real
is
quick?
called Muscle Rub, and if I had to do without a product in the store, it wouldn't be this one, because this one I gotta have. And a little bit goes. You put it on where you have some pain, muscle pain, joint pain. I've had people come in and sit down on our stool. They had neck pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain, toe pain. I had a lady come in today. She had lupus was starting to happen in her. She had a real swollen finger.
Yeah.
So I just put some of this on her finger, and about an hour later, I got a text from her. She said the pain is completely gone.
Well,
So,
it was for
yeah.
me. So Troy put some on me in the store, and within, I would say, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my God, that's the only
Remember
relief
that,
I've
yeah.
had. I was like, are you kidding me? Where do I get this? It was
so
incredible.
it's really good, and it has 500 milligrams of CBD, and then we have a salve that has 1,000 milligrams. So I always test this
Wow.
first, because I know if this works, we know this is going to work.
Yeah.
So we try that first, and this one is more of a lotion consistency. It soaks in really fast. I think that's why
yeah,
it works so
and it
fast.
doesn't
It
feel
just comes
greasy
right in.
or
boom.
nasty. It feels
Yeah,
good.
and
Yeah.
then, but this one's a little bit more oil-based, so it takes longer for it to get there, but when it does, it's got twice as much CBD, so
Wow.
really,
Well,
really
I'll
good.
definitely
So
be getting
happy
some
with
of
those
that.
products.
Well, you're gonna be getting some visitors, 11
so-
to 7?
Yes, yes.
7 days a week.
11 to 6?
11 to 6, okay.
Yeah, 7 days a week.
7
days a
And
week.
give them, real quick, give them your address.
Yeah,
Because
we're-
people like me have to have a GPS to go everywhere.
Well,
so.
we're at the Crossing, and the Crossing is this cute little village that's down by the river. It's real close to the Wells Fargo Bank, and our address is 601 G. G is in go, and it's 601 Chestnut Street, and at the Crossing.
Well, thank you so much, Troy, for coming
welcome.
out and
Thank you.
sharing with us. We really do appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me. Appreciate it.
It's
Thank
great
you.
to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
Hi everyone, my name is Heather Ott and I am the General Manager of the Elgin Courier and the Bastrop County Insider, and here is your weekly beat. In last week's issue of the Elgin Courier and the Bastrop County Insider, you can find the unofficial county election results. The Elgin community came together yet again and had a barbecue fundraiser to remember our local students who were killed on April the 18th. This fundraiser was organized by Philip Ontiveros, barber at Colorworks Salon. Bastrop County's COVID vaccination program will soon be in new hands after an agreement was made with the private company. And in my opinion, one of the best gatherings is returning for 2021, the Mcdade Watermelon Festival. Don't miss this great opportunity to reconnect with old friends and enjoy some live music, seed spitting, and farm fresh watermelons. We also had 2 full-page features in last week's issue, our pets page and Kid Scoop. Our pets page shows pets that are available for adoption out of the Bastrop County Animal Shelter. And Kid Scoop was all about sugar. Did you know that the average American consumes over 57 pounds of sugar each year? That's insane. Now kids, let's be sugar detectives and learn what kinds of drinks and foods are better for us to eat. And we'll do all of this while we have fun with crossword puzzles, word searches, and a fit and fun exercise. The Smithville Lady Tigers softball team easily captured their by-district title, and the Bastrop Bears baseball team falls to 5th in district and will just miss playoffs in this season. And the Bastrop Bears baseball team falls to 5th in district and will just miss playoffs in this season. Coming up on May 26th is our graduation special section. This special features all of our graduating seniors out of Elgin, and it also highlights our top 10%, valedictorian, salutatorian, and scholarship recipients. Stay tuned for next week's issue and hear all about updates from our city council meetings, a ton of featured sports teams and athletes, and find out all about local happenings in our community calendar. Businesses have the opportunity to advertise their event or special offers on this page at a deeply discounted rate. Call me, Heather, at 512-285-3333 and ask how you can have your business and special events featured on this page.
Our next guest is Tom Dickey with Neighbors Kitchen and Yard.
Hi, Connie.
It's so good to see you.
It's good to see
I
you,
met
too.
Tom about 6 months after I was elected mayor. You
right.
took ownership of the restaurant,
January of 2018.
and you can barely recognize it. It is such a fabulous restaurant. Tell us about the food that you have, and you've also got a great brewery going.
We do. So the brewery was actually the end goal because, truth be told, my wife wanted to kick me out of the house with my home brewing. And so, but no, we took over January of 2018, and a learning curve. We have never been in the hospitality industry before. And so friends of ours who said, you need to run away from this because you're going to work harder than you've ever worked before. They all earned an I told you so. They really did. But on the flip side of that is that we've never had more fun than we're having right now. And mostly because of the community. This is just an absolutely amazing community where people are genuine and everyone seems to have each other's backs.
Absolutely.
And it's just, it makes all the trials and tribulations certainly worth it. But we're now an award-winning, right? So 3
Yeah.
years in a row, best of Bastrop County for our pizzas, for the patios to have the pizza on, for the best place to bring an out-of-town guest. And we're actually seeing quite a few, kind of the mix of our clientele, of our guests is changing. Large number of first-time visitors. The people who are traveling between Houston and Austin, between Austin and College Station, and now with all of the development on the east side of Austin, we're starting to see, the business travelers who are coming and exploring downtown Bastrop. And it's not just Neighbors, but we're certainly happy to serve them when they do come into the crossing area.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
TJ, as we were talking about before, people come to Bastrop and they want that historic town experience. Where do the locals go? Well, you are the perfect example of if you make the locals happy, the tourists will be happy. Such a fabulous location by our iconic bridge, and you can sit out on the patio and be right by the Colorado River, see the bridge, and it's a way to have fantastic food without going to a chain.
Absolutely.
It's a unique experience and truly a Bastrop experience. What's the most popular pizza?
Well, so to answer that question, we do a pizza of the month. And this was Lori's idea to put some, keep the, kind of the spice, right? Give something back to the locals month after month.
And those that don't know, Lori's your beautiful wife. Right?
She is. She is.
She's the real boss, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that comment. But, it's fun because we do this with the expectation of doing it for a month, having it on the menu for a month, having, something new to try. But sometimes the feedback is, if you take this off the menu, okay, we will not come back. And so, a few of the specials, especially, and I'm absolutely horrible when it comes to being creative. And so anything having to do with names, whether it's naming the pizza, naming the beers, I take no part of that. But my daughter came up with getting figgy with it. Okay, there's not an H in there. It's getting figgy with it. So it's a take on, a modern musician. And, it has pancetta, it has caramelized onions, it has arugula, and it has fig jam on it. And one of the things that Troy had mentioned earlier, and I want to kind of jump on that bandwagon, is engaging the locals in what we do. And so whether it be the arugula that we get local, or the honey that we use with our hot little honey pizza, you know, and all of this is local, and it that's that sense of community that, you know, is something that you can't put on an income statement or a balance sheet.
Absolutely.
You know, but it does, the word gets out, you know, and people are like, oh, I understand that you guys even have your own bees now, right? So it's not just that we buy local honey, but we now are raising our own bees.
And I think you
So-
participate with the compost with the local gardener.
We do, right? And so all of our, you know, everything coming out of the kitchen in the morning from prep that we can't use, all of our citrus that we hand squeeze for example, for our margaritas, all of that goes into the compost, and they come by, pick it up, and, you know, super people, and we get to, right, repurpose it. So those types
That's
of things.
amazing.
Yeah, you know, and it's little things like, you know, my daughter said, Dad, you got to get rid of all the plastic in the restaurant. You know, it's like, well, we don't have any plastic. Okay, you have straws, you have to-go containers, right? And you have all these things. The next thing you know, we have straws that are made out of hay. We have to-go containers that are made out of sugar cane. And so any of this that may accidentally blow into the river, right, on a gusty afternoon, absolutely it will dissolve in a more natural way before it hits the bridge. Right,
That's
so
fascinating.
these are the types of things that, you know, are, make it fun, right? Allow us to be part of the community, and do things to maybe even role model a little bit some of the
Absolutely.
trends that we should be paying closer attention
Okay,
to.
I think all of you Bastrop restaurants, he just put you on the spot that you need to be thinking about, you know, what's your part in the environment. I love that. I did not know that. Did you know about you did? I miss out so much stuff.
Well, the restaurant is such a key part of our community, but you personally are also giving back to the community, and I know that you serve on the Visit Bastrop board, and there was an exciting announcement this last week.
Well, there was, and, you know, last year we missed out with the music festival, and, you know, it was a good call. It was the right call, but it's still disappointing. But we've just recently announced that this fall, end of September, we will be having, I guess it'll be the third now, Bastrop Music Festival.
And I know that you'll be one of the venues.
We look forward to that. You know, it's, but you know, the venue, Mother Nature did all the work. She really did. You know, the location, you put it next to the river, you put it on the hillside, you
That
put it next
natural
to
amphitheater.
right, with the bridge. You know, and this is not a competition, you know, between venues. This is, how do we give the best experience to our guests, right? And to those who are visiting to enjoy the venue. And so there will be venues, you know, throughout downtown, and perhaps even beyond that. But, you know, the idea is that we keep bringing this music, and we give people not only a reason, but an opportunity to discover Bastrop. And we're partial to downtown, I'll admit that. But once they find us, the word of mouth, you know, we've had an opportunity to meet some of the new Tesla, kind of the tip of the spear of the employee base. And they find us, and they have some beers, and where can we go? Well, let's go to Copper Shot, or let's go to 602, or go down to Old Town. And we're very, we're very open, because we want them to get to know downtown Bastrop.
Absolutely.
And
It's
so
an experience.
It really is an experience, and it's not just neighbors, but we like to be part of that conversation.
Well, I've talked to several restaurant owners, and it's the classic. We've all heard the rising tide, all the ships float, right?
Absolutely.
And one restaurateur told me that really he does better when there's more options, because people don't want to come eat at the exact same restaurant all the time. And so they'll have folks with them, and you'll have the tried and true, and they'll come back on a regular basis. But as there's more people, then there's more opportunity for everyone. And I think you agree with that assessment.
Yeah, absolutely, because otherwise, we start to lose our focus on making pizzas, right, and the sandwiches and the salads, and we go, oh, well, we better make hamburgers, or we better start smoking briskets, because there aren't those opportunities in town, but there are, right? And there are people who are really good at some of those other things. Honestly, we don't eat at Neighbors every meal, okay? and we enjoy going, and because it's a different conversation, right? It's like, oh yeah, I know the owner over there. It's like, yeah, well, but when we sit down, because then we can share war stories and talk about all the trials and tribulations of actually running a business, the kind of the serious side of what we have to do.
Well, as mayor, I am so thankful for everything that you give to the community. And personally, I have experience with folks that have worked for you, and I know that they have really learned a lot. And for a number of those kids, it's been their first job, and they will realize years later how blessed they were to have you and Lori as their first boss. So I want to thank you for helping the next generation.
We appreciate that, and it's a selfish investment in our future, because at some point they're going to have to take care of us, and we want to make sure that we're in good hands. But the kids in this community, kind of a shout out to BISD and all that they do. We see those glimmers of hope. We see those diamonds in the rough, and these kids, and it's not fair to compare a 15 or a 16-year-old who's working their first summer job to someone who's been in the industry for years. But that passion, that commitment, that excitement, that deer in the headlight, oh my God, I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to get through the night. These kids, and they don't do that on their own, right? And they get it from their families, they get it from their teachers, they get it from their coaches. And
it
so
takes a village,
it really does
It really
take a
does.
village, and we benefit because they come in and they do a great job for us. And we're really excited with the direction that BISD is helping to take these kids.
Yes, they really are. I'm incredible school district here. My pseudo grandson actually works for you, Bodie. I don't know if you know exactly who that is, but he has learned so much in the short time. So that's Sari's son. And I talked to him the other day and I said, are you still liking your job? He said, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, I mean, that's always a positive, because that's a tough business. It's not you go in and sit down and do nothing job. You are working. Especially as busy as you guys are. And I used to own a restaurant, so I get it, okay? It is not easy. But, so I understand too that you guys have live music out there as well. So can we talk about that?
Sure. So live music is 3 days a week. So we do Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon.
Nice.
And, one of the things that we had the opportunity to do over this last year during the pandemic was to move our music down into the yard. So for the first couple of years, we didn't use the big stage very much because it was so distant, and there's an energy that develops between the band and the guests. In that space, you just didn't have that energy. Well, one of the blessings was we could put picnic tables down in the yard and allow people during the pandemic to sit outside, to be socially distanced, to have the right number of people at the table, right? Follow all of the guidelines and still have live music. Well, what we're finding is that that's now the norm.
They want that.
They want to be down in the yard. They want to be next to the river with the shade of the cypress, right, and a little breeze, and hear live music coming off the stage. And so we said, okay, right, so dumb luck, right, and it has worked out well. But the other thing we found was, because we were one of just a few venues in Central Texas that continued to have live music during the pandemic, we really upgraded some of the music that was coming to town.
Phenomenal acts.
So the acts that come through, only to find out that some of the acts actually live here in the Bastrop area. And so there's just, the pandemic will go down in history as its own event, right? And we all have our stories to tell from it. But, when you find these, hidden opportunities and they present themselves and we all collectively get to take advantage of them, it really has been kind of a special time in its own way.
That's amazing. And so we just got that Music City destination, right? Or
Yes, designation.
Designation, sorry. So the talent here is just grow from there. So that's amazing.
And it's not just the musicians, right? It's the producers, and it's the people that are, creating the engineering behind it, and the videographers that come with it. I mean, it is kind of an industry of itself. And, some of the work that's going on is, I sat and kind of checked out last night and sat down with one of the guys who's really pretty at the core of this, and listening to how it's being received, but not just Bastrop, not just Texas, Central Texas, but globally, right? Because this stuff, as you know, right, with this production, it goes on the internet and there are no boundaries.
Oh, absolutely. We get views from all over the United States, and even some they're not in the United States. So yeah.
But it's fun to see because right now, I think everybody is cheering for everybody,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You know, we want the musicians to be successful. You know, it's like, oh, well, if he's successful, then I'm not. There's just not that type of competition. And I don't think it's, you know, in people's DNA here that, you know, we want to build walls. It's like, okay, so what can I do? You guys want to film here on the stage? Okay, come do it. You want to have pizza for your, you know, for your crew afterwards? Sure, come on in. You know, but you get it up and down Main Street. And you know, my experience in Bastrop, you know, admittedly, is kind of the downtown community. There's a lot going on down there. There's enough to keep me and a small army of people busy.
Right.
But
right.
you know, that I think has really become not only. I mean, I'm sure that it has always been an asset for Bastrop. But what has happened probably in the last 2 years, 3 years that we have been here, it has really become. There's some really good people. There are some really smart people that are kind of taking downtown Bastrop and adopting it and taking it onto its next level. And you know, there's still a lot to do, right? There's still a lot of rough edges. There's still some polishing that can go on, but everybody seems to be rowing in the same direction right now, and it's a very exciting time to be a part of it.
It really is. You know, a couple of months ago, Connie and I did some interviews. My really good friend, Barry Rogers, who's just amazing, best publicist on the planet, right? So Barry and I worked to bring the Country Rewind tour to Bastrop, and Connie and I interviewed all those country stars, and it seemed like it was a tip off to what's to come, you know, even bigger talent. And I think you'll find some surprising talent that's planning on coming in the fall. I can't say anything, but it's fun.
So whether you're a local or if you're in Bastrop for a visit, you need to check out Neighbor's Kitchen and Yard. Easy to find, and TJ will say, tell us your address.
Well, it's 601 Chestnut. We're in Building C. The brewery is right next door, and it is, you know, it's on the East Bank. It sits between downtown and the river, and it's just on the south side of the old Iron Bridge.
It is extremely easy to find, and you'll be lucky if you find it.
Yeah, it's a hop, skip, and a jump from any of the hotels. So you have a web address, I believe?
We do. It's www.neighborstx.com.
Do you have an online menu?
We have an online menu. You
There you
can
go.
order
Nice.
online and see this is really in Lori's wheelhouse. She takes care of
And,
all
well,
of this.
you guys have some parking spots out there that I saw where people can come and pick up their food.
That's right.
So,
And
yeah,
another,
love that.
you know, another item that the downtown group took care of when the pandemic hit, it was like, let's just reserve these. You know, it's for the takeout, right?
Right,
The
right.
dine-in or the call-in takeout, and we've left them up because people are, you know,
They're loving it.
and it's
Yeah.
become a much more significant part of our business.
Absolutely, and you can drive the carts, right? You
Yep.
can go use carts to get from any of the hotels downtown to come to Neighbors, and then you can drink all you want, and you don't have to drive home.
That's right. But we now have the app on all of our phones as well. So in the event that one of our guests, you know, may get a little too much celebration,
You can send them.
we will
Send
call
them.
carts for you. Yeah. What a
Great.
great thing for
Great.
the
Another
city.
example of it takes a community for us to all take care of each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a part of our community, Tom.
Well, thank you for having us. Truly, it's a lot of fun to be here.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, DJ.